Alright guys, hi again. So I'm going to do a very quick overview on how to color and desaturate something, kind of do like a color splash. There's a lot of apps out there for the iPhone and that will do this for you, or at least you can kind of do it a little easier. But if you wanted to get really in there and accent the pixels, the actual fine pixels, and make it really professional, this is a good way of doing it. So I've got my my picture here of my beautiful wife and I during our wedding. Feel free to ooh and ah at any time. What I'm going to do very quickly is I'm just going to select all, copy and paste. You can see, again, I've got my new floating layer. Anchor that down. So now at this point I've got two layers ready to go. Everything's good. The next step, I am now going to want to pick one of these layers. Doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to pick one of these layers. I'm going to desaturate it. To do that, just think about it this way. Maybe lock it into your brain. I am affecting the color. So I'm going to go to the color menu. And way down here you see there's a button that says desaturate. So I'm going to click on that. You can see it's going to turn it into black and white mode, and I can choose between one of three: lightness, luminosity, or just the average. So I'm going to go with average for now. Pick what you like. So now again I've got my black and white and my color. Black and white color, black and white color. Now let's say that my beautiful wife wants this photograph made, but she really wants the background and me made into black and white because she doesn't like them as much. She wants to accent her beautiful dress, and who could blame her? So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to turn on my black and white layer. I'm going to right click, that's the mouse button you don't usually use. I'm going to right click on that layer, and I'm going to do add layer mask. Okay? So I click on that, and what it's going to do, it's going to pull up this way cool menu right here. Now, all of these certain little menu items actually have a meaning, but for right now, for the sake of argument, just go ahead and select white full opacity, or opacity. Okay? Now, nothing has changed. But what has changed, if you look down in the corner there, over by the layers menu, there's now this weird little white box off on the side. What's neat, I'm going to turn off this color layer for a second. What's neat is, if I take say my paintbrush here, okay, and I start painting black, okay, now that's the key. If I start painting black, it will erase that picture. Now, why would you want to do that as opposed to just use like the eraser tool or something like that? I mean, there's plenty good eraser tool right here. But let's say I mess up. I accidentally erase out that. That's not good. But I can put it right back again by painting white. So I'm literally masking out. The word comes from an old photography technique where you basically kind of did the same thing. You kind of blocked it off while it was being printed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through and I'm going to paint on some black. I'm actually going to increase the size of my brush just for the sake of argument. I can even play with opacity too. If I drop the opacity, then I'm kind of erasing it, making it a little bit faint, but it's still kind of there. For the sake of argument, I'm just going to really just eat into this and just chomp away. But here's the kick. So I've got this picture and I've erased a good chunk of it. But if I put the exact same picture behind it, which we already have, and it's in color, what that's going to do is it's going to pull the color through. Because those pictures are absolutely lined up, to our naked eye it appears as if color is bursting forth through this layer mask. Remember that your computer sees them as individual layers. We see them as one harmonious unit. So, something to think about as you're going along. I can even play with my brush technique. Maybe I pick a funkier looking brush, something like that, and I play with the opacity a little bit. And I can kind of fade it in just so. Looks pretty cool, right? So I can really play with this and bring out a lively aspect. A lot of times professional photographers will offer this as an option, but now you know better. Feel free to do this on your own. Why pay for it when you can do it yourself, right? All right. That's it for the layer masking, as well as adding this kind of burst of color. The last note I'll make is this. When you're done, it's good policy to always right-click on that layer mask and apply that layer mask, basically locking it in so that it won't mess up in the future. Just good to know. All right, see you soon.